Hello and welcome to Palace Weekly. I am your host, Mark Francis. This is your comprehensive roundup of the biggest royal stories from the past 7 days. And this week has been absolutely dominated by the Prince Andrew scandal, with shocking new revelations, a historic papal visit, and plenty of commentary about what it all means for the monarchy. Let's dive in. If you thought the Prince Andrew story couldn't get any worse, this week proved otherwise. On Monday, we learned that Andrew's decision to surrender all of his royal titles brought renewed attention to his former wife, Sarah Ferguson. The Telegraph reported that Sarah will no longer use the style Duchess of York and will instead be known officially as Sarah Ferguson. The title, originally granted on her 1986 marriage to Prince Andrew, was retained after their divorce in 1996, but is now being relinquished in keeping with the King's decision to strip Andrew of his honours. This change came just weeks after Ferguson was dropped from her remaining charity patronages, where it emerged that she had sent emails to Jeffrey Epstein following his conviction, referring to him as a steadfast, generous and supreme friend. While Andrew retains his private lease on Royal Lodge in Windsor, royal observers say Sarah Ferguson's position at future family events may now depend more on personal goodwill than protocol. But the real bombshell dropped on Tuesday with the release of Virginia Giuffre's memoir, Nobody's Girl. The book, obtained in full by the BBC ahead of its official release, is a first-hand account of Giuffre's experiences with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Much of it is harrowing in detail, with Giuffre alleging that she was abused, trafficked, and forced to have sex with Prince Andrew on 3 separate occasions, once she claims in a group setting involving Epstein and approximately 8 other young women. Prince Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing and in 2022 reached a financial settlement, with Giuffre accepting no liability. But the memoir presents the allegations in Giuffre's own words, framing them as part of a broader network of exploitation involving powerful men. According to the book, Giuffre first met Andrew in March 2001 when Maxwell told her she was going to meet a handsome prince. She claims Andrew guessed her age correctly, 17, and said, "My daughters are just a little younger than you." That evening, they attended London's Tramp nightclub, where Giuffre says the prince sweated profusely. Back at Maxwell's house, she writes, they had sex. The next morning, Maxwell allegedly told her, "You did well, the prince had fun." Giuffre writes that Epstein later paid her $15,000 for the encounter. The memoir also includes disturbing details about a third alleged encounter on Epstein's private Caribbean island, where Giuffre claims Epstein, Andy, and approximately 8 other young girls and I had sex together. She writes that the other girls all appeared to be under the age of 18 and didn't really speak any English. MPs, including Richard Maskell and Stephen Flynn, have called for Andrew's prince title to also be removed. Maskell said it's incredibly strange that you can give a title, but you can't remove a title, while Flynn added that the family of Virginia Giuffre, whose life was destroyed, are angry and aghast. The scandal intensified when the Metropolitan Police announced they are actively looking into reports that Prince Andrew asked a protection officer to obtain personal information about Giuffre in 2011. According to the Mail on Sunday, Andrew provided her date of birth and social security number to a member of the elite SO14 royalty protection group in an attempt to uncover damaging information. The publication claims it has seen an email sent by Andrew just hours before a notorious photograph of him with the then 17-year-old Giuffre was released, in which the Duke reportedly wrote, "It would also seem she has a criminal record in the United States. I have given her DOB and social security number for investigation. Her family denies she has any criminal record." Broadcaster Emily Maitlis, who conducted Andrew's infamous Newsnight interview, said she was glad the Met were taking the claims seriously, stating, "If there had been people responsible for trying to make her life even more unbearable than it was, then I would like to see justice done." Meanwhile, a senior member of the U.S. House Oversight Committee, Stephen Lynch, told the BBC's Newsnight that he was sure an invitation would be sent to Andrew to testify, saying, "We would be extremely interested in hearing from Prince Andrew regarding his involvement in all of this." Epstein victim Annie Farmer urged Andrew to cooperate, though she said she wasn't holding my breath. The controversy deepened further with the Telegraph reporting that Andrew met 2 alleged Chinese spies during a 2019 trip to China, promoting his Pitch at Palace initiative. According to the paper, he met Kai Chi, now described as the spy master, at the center of major espionage case, and businessman Yang Tengbo, who was later banned from Britain over suspected spying. Perhaps most damaging this week was the publication of excerpts from Andrew Lowney's book entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York. The book paints a portrait of a man whose behaviour behind palace doors was as arrogant as it was erratic. According to the book, Andrew allegedly demanded that maids climb 4 flights of stairs each morning to open his bedroom curtains while he lay in bed beside them. One former staffer claimed his bedtime habits as a single man left a lot to be desired, with a collection of scrunched-up soiled tissues left for staff to clear away. On another night, Andrew reportedly summoned a television technician to his royal residence to explain how the remote control worked. The Duke even allegedly sent his armed protection officers to retrieve lost golf balls. Dangerous driving was described as one of his favourite games, with Andrew allegedly speeding down motorways in an attempt to lose his protection officers. Windsor estate workers once petitioned the late Queen after he nearly hit them while racing through the park in his Aston Martin. In 2016, when gates at Windsor malfunctioned, he allegedly rammed them with his Range Rover, causing thousands of pounds in damage. As a trade envoy, Andrew allegedly instructed staff to invite attractive women to official functions. One diplomat recalled being told he likes blondes, to which he replied, "I'm a diplomat, not a pimp." Lowney claims the Duke boasted of sleeping with more than 1,000 women. During a trip to Thailand for the King's Diamond Jubilee, Andrew allegedly entertained as many as 40 women in his hotel suite, with one leaving as another arrived. Royal reporter Tom Sykes described it as a revolving door of female bodies carried out under the auspices of royal diplomacy. Adding another layer to the story, newly released documents from the Crown Estate reveal that Andrew has not paid any meaningful rent on his sprawling royal lodge home for more than 2 decades. The tenancy agreement shows that Andrew paid £1 million for a 75-year lease in 2003, plus at least £7.5 million for refurbishments 2 years later. Since then, his annual rent has amounted to just 1 peppercorn, if demanded. The 30-bedroom Royal Lodge, set on 98 acres in Windsor Great Park, is leased until 2078, effectively giving the disgraced royal a lifetime residence. Royal author Norman Baker said the public deserves to know whether the prince could be forced out, calling for transparency about the arrangement. For now, the Duke, no longer Duke, remains firmly in residence, rent-free, scandal-shadowed, and increasingly isolated within the walls of Windsor Great Park. More palace in just a moment. Providing welcome relief from the Andrew saga, King Charles and Queen Camilla marked a historic moment in Rome, joining Pope Leo XIV for an ecumenical service inside the Sistine Chapel, believed to be the first time in hundreds of years that a British monarch, as head of the Church of England, has publicly prayed with a pope. The setting underscored the significance, the very chamber where Pope Leo was recently elected. The King and Queen attended as part of a state visit aligned with the Catholic Church's Jubilee year. During the service, prayers were led in English and Latin by Pope Leo and the Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell, while Anglican and Catholic choirs performed. From there, the King and Queen moved on to a second service at the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, where the King assumed the honorary title of Royal Confrater, reflecting historic ties between the British Crown and the Basilica. The Vatican designed a chair for the King and his successors bearing the royal coat of arms and the inscription that they may be one. Church leaders stressed the symbolism. The Vatican's Reverend Martin Brown said the services were intended as a sign of our closeness and willingness to see one another as brothers and sisters despite differences. While Andrew dominated headlines, William and Kate did their best to provide positive royal news. The Prince and Princess of Wales marked the arrival of autumn with an official visit to Longmeadow Cider Farm in Craigavon, Northern Ireland, where their coordinated seasonal style once again drew admiration. Kate wore a forest green jacket paired with dark trousers and boots, while William echoed her look with a brown coat layered over a green sweater. During the visit, Kate shared a glimpse of family life, revealing a very messy DIY project she recently tried with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. "We tried this at home with a hand press," she said of cider making. "It was quite good fun with the children. It was all very messy." The couple are currently on half-term break with their children, though speculation suggests they'll soon be moving into their new home, Forest Lodge, on the Windsor estate. According to the Daily Mail, builders have been working tirelessly to ensure the new home will be ready by early November, hopefully in time for bonfire night. An insider told the Mirror that Adelaide Cottage really does have some difficult memories associated with it, sadly. They have experienced some of their most challenging times there. The family are really happy about this move and excited for a fresh start. Kate has reportedly taken an active role in the renovation process, personally selecting furnishings and decor from the British design houses. The whole process has been fun for her, a source explained. She loves interior design and is very keen to support the UK textiles industry. In other William news, the Prince enlisted Brazilian supermodel and environmentalist activist Gisele Bündchen as the newest member of the Earthshot Prize Council. She joins a distinguished group including Queen Rania of Jordan, Sir David Attenborough, and Kate Blanchett. Over in California, Meghan made headlines with her appearance at Fortune's most powerful women's summit in Washington, D.C., where she teased a new direction for her content strategy. When asked whether fans could expect a third season of With Love Meghan, the Duchess offered a cryptic answer that seemed to hint the show might be over. The holiday special is coming out in November, and it's a really good one, she said, so we're able to say 8 episodes for 2 seasons. It's a lot of work. She went on to explain that her team is now experimenting with shorter video content instead of full-length programming, saying, "I also recognize how much people want content in different sizes." Meghan also reflected on the period following their move to the United States, describing it as a time of nesting and healing. She revealed that when they first stepped back from royal life 5 years ago, there was no master plan. Archie was so little, and I had just got pregnant with Lily around that time, so we were nesting and healing, she said. In more awkward news, reports suggest the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are navigating a difficult chapter in their marriage, with insiders describing a relationship that has grown increasingly distant. According to Radar Online, admittedly a gossipy source, some close to a couple have claimed they shared little intimacy since the birth of Princess Lilibet in 2021. An eyewitness account of their recent New York appearance described Harry as looking sad, anxious and tired, with another onlooker saying it felt so bleak, no crowds to greet them, and it was very businesslike between the two of them. In more positive Harry and Meghan news, the couple joined an open letter calling for a halt on the creation of AI superintelligence. Harry wrote, "The future of AI should serve humanity, not replace it. I believe the true test of progress will be not how fast we move, but how wisely we steer. There is no second chance." More palace in just a moment. So what did the week tell us about the state of the monarchy? The commentary pieces published throughout the week offer some fascinating perspectives. In the Mirror, Kevin Maguire wrote that from day one, the monarchy has put its own interests first, second and third by covering for Jeffrey Epstein's buddy. He called it stomach-churning that the late Queen coughed up part or all of the £12 million settlement, and criticised Charles for inviting Andrew to walk to church at Sandringham on Christmas Day in 2022 and 23. The BBC's Sean Coughlin wondered if Andrew giving up his titles even matters, noting that on a day-to-day basis he's still a prince and he's still living in a mansion in Windsor. He pointed out that Andrew's statement showed no sense of regret, quoting a royal insider who said, "The grand old Duke of York, he gave 12 million quid to someone he never met for something he never did." In The Sun, Robert Little took a broader view, writing that it has been a terrible century for the Windsors so far. He noted that the family has also been seriously damaged by Prince Harry and his ghastly missus, Meghan, before concluding that despite the idiotic Andrew and the awful Harry and Meghan, the royal family is still a considerable asset to our country. The Times suggested that the next monarch will be more ruthless, noting that William is not satisfied with the outcome and knows the Andrew problem will be in his in tray at some point. When William is king, Andrew will be banned from all elements of royal life. As we close out this extraordinary week, one thing is clear: the Andrew scandal isn't going away anytime soon, with the Metropolitan Police investigating, US congressional committees interested in his testimony, and new revelations continuing to emerge. The pressure on both Andrew and the palace will only intensify. For King Charles, already dealing with his own health challenges as he continues weekly cancer treatments, this presents an enormous challenge. One royal aide told the BBC that the headlines are taking a lot of oxygen out of the royal room, an understatement if ever there was one. The contrast between Charles' historic ecumenical service in Rome and the sordid details of Andrew's past couldn't be more stark. It's a reminder that the monarchy operates on 2 levels: the ceremonial and symbolic role that connects Britain to its history and provides soft power on the world stage, and the human reality of flawed individuals who happen to be born into extraordinary privilege. As we head into the final months of 2025, all eyes will be on how the palace handles this crisis. Will Andrew face further consequences? Will William take a more active role in managing his uncle? And can Charles maintain the dignity of the institution while his brother's scandals continue to unfold? One thing's for sure, we'll be here next week with all the latest developments. Until then, remember, in the words of one palace insider, the royal family may be built on ceremony and tradition, but at the end of the day, it's still a family. And like all families, sometimes it's a bit of a mess. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, Facebook, Instagram, all the social hub spots. Come by and say hi. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.